Greetings everyone, Free here. Welcome to the demo for today. In today's demo, we're going to look at Shipyard and orient ourselves around its capabilities. Shipyard is a tool in the modern data space that, as it describes, helps with data workflow, launching, monitoring, and orchestration. It definitely plays on the name of containers, which Kubernetes has done really well. And it allows for alerting, monitoring, and testing of the workflow, as well as automation and orchestration and data transfer. Now, from an orientation perspective, where would this fit? In the industry, Shipyard seems to play in a similar space to Airflow and seems to have some differentiating capabilities that are highlighted right here on the website in terms of how Shipyard and Airflow, which is also very prominent in this space, how they compare. So links to this will be left in the description below if you want to go in and check out the specific differences. For one, it calls out Airflow supports just Python. Shipyard supports any language. And we're going to go in and take a look at some of these differentiating capabilities. Airflow has shared resources. These are containerized. It depends on infrastructure, unlimited parallel processing. So of course, this is coming from the Shipyard side, but I'll let you go in and take a look at these differentiating capabilities. For integrations, you can see there are different integrations that seems to be supported. Of course, there is Snowflake from a database perspective and other libraries of integrations that are available within the website. Let's dive into login. When we log in into a Shipyard, we're welcome with a left side and navigations, and to the right is the canvas for work. We do have a profile and the organization as a demo hub. In here, there are projects, and the projects you have access to will show up here. Next, there are blueprints. What are blueprints? As it describes here, is a collection of reusable code that is made available within the Shipyard infrastructure. For example, if we search for Snowflake, we can see a couple of blueprints for executing a query, store query results as a CSV, and uploading the CSV data to a Snowflake table. More information around that blueprint. You can certainly see how the blueprint has been implemented. It leverages the Snowflake Python connector with some SQL alchemy behind the scenes. How many blueprints are available? Not quite obvious to me, but it does seem like a good library of commonly used blueprints are available. If you're looking for a blueprint you can't find, it calls it out here to reach out to the support. And then organizations could build their own specific blueprints leveraging Node.js, Python, and you can put in the Python code. We're not going to be covering that in the video, but it does seem like that capability is available. Going back to the administration side, let's look at the billing option. It's not very obvious in terms of how the billing works, but here it seems to be $50 per month with one user included and a few other details that comes with that. But these are things that you can always talk to the account team to get the details around the billing if that's of interest to you. Let's go back into the core of Shipyard. You can come in and create new projects. We call this a demo hub. Because this is orchestration, the time in which things run do matter quite a bit. So it does make sense here for us to put in the time zone, and that project can be created. A blank new project is created. There are fleets, there are vessels, and then settings. If you think about the analogy from the shipping industry, fleet would be a collection of vessels. Just to give an idea on creating a fleet or a vessel and what that experience looks like. So let's go ahead and build the new fleet. Here, there are the building blocks to leverage for that fleet. I'm sure this isn't the exhaustive list, and custom building blocks can be included. And these building blocks are essentially blueprints. Here, there are options for code vessels. So if you're doing more code types of development or a low code approach with pre-built blueprints or components to use, those all show up here. Depending on the skill set, it seems like there are options for everyone. Click on Python. It does give you a description of what this is. Python 3.7 is supported. And that blueprint is added to the screen right here. You can go in and put in some simple Python code as we're doing. You can also pull that code from Git. Of course, you need a Git connection, or you can upload an existing code you have running locally. Now we have a Python code ready for use. If you wanted to run this against data coming from S3, We can download some files from S3 and of course put in the configurations for the files to be downloaded. Let's cancel this. If you wanted to execute some 5-strand jobs, go ahead and click on that. Going back to the Python example we had, there are options for parameterization, environment variables, as well as notifications. So I'm guessing when this particular component or building block is executed for folks to be notified. And then of course there are guardrails for retries and runtime. Kind of pretty fascinating for someone who isn't familiar with the vocabulary of fleet versus vessel. I'm sure it might take some getting used to. Here there is a bash code for creating a new vessel, and we saw how to create fleets. You can string them all together and have those orchestrated where data might be coming from S3. You want to grab that data, load it into a Snowflake, to some downstream systems for processing, leveraging either a low-code approach with blueprints that have been provided by the team, which I'm guessing this library is going to keep growing, as well as a code-based approach where you bring in your own code for that. So it does integrate with your typical organizational tools like Slack and Snowflake, of course, for the data warehouse, TBT Cloud, and a few more downstream applications. As always with these sessions, we don't focus so much on the UI itself, as this always will change as the team develops and builds the product out. There you have it, a quick overview and orientation of the capabilities. Links to this will be in the description below. It describes itself as a modern data workflow and orchestration tool that's playing the space by analogy to other tools like Airflow. Hopefully this was helpful to you. This has been Fro with Demo Hub. We highlight tools in the modern data space. Thanks for watching. Share this with somebody that might get value out of it, and we'll see you in the next demo.